episode 5 of Requiem of Mysteries. But before we go any further, I want to thank all of you, and so does Possessed as well. Thank you
Yes.
for the love and your views. We hit 100 subs. Hopefully, by the time we air this episode, we're going to have well over that. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you. Because we didn't think that people would enjoy watching us. I mean, we're just here shooting the shit, but thank you so much, honestly.
So, without further ado, episode 5. Possessed has something
Yes.
a little terrifying.
Yeah, this one's a little kind of as well current as you can get, I suppose, really, with everything going on in the world. Okay, so no doubt everybody's heard of the so-called killer AI and the AI that tried to blackmail and kill and all this lot, which Terminator. You know, I'm gonna put my hand won't be here. I'm gonna put a thing up. So anyway, yeah, the whole thing with this supposed AI, these AI programs that are learning to blackmail and kill people, and there was this instance reported on by multiple sources. I'm going to put a tagline here for the Huffington Post so you can all see. Crazy shit. Really, really fucking crazy. The fact that, you know, we've got AI that can do this kind of thing. And, like, just think about that. You know, you could be working your job. You accidentally scream at your computer because it doesn't work properly, and then all of a sudden your computer just decides to go through all your personal stuff and print it to your boss or send it to your boss and post it out in public. Like, holy shit. That's crazy. And not just that, but the stuff that you could then be implied to be, like, involved with. So the potential for social damage is just insane, and it would lead to people, you know, I mean, you see people, they lose everything, they do things that they shouldn't, that causes them to no longer exist because YouTube doesn't like certain words. And that's terrifying. That's absolutely fucking terrifying, because we have so much AI in our life now. I mean, Copilot, ChatGPT, Grok, I think there's Ocean, there's Cloud, like there's so many different AI, and even just little ones, like even the little AI that run your mobile phone games. Because don't think that there's not AI just because you don't have those apps. Don't think that there isn't some form of AI working in your phone right now. I mean, you always get the thing of, you know, supposedly they're listening. Is that not an AI app, an AI within an app to program to do so, to listen for certain words, to bring adverts and things, hence like the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, that's kind of crazy, to be honest. Just absolutely fucking crazy. There's going to be loads of data shown up here. The rate of blackmail that it went for was over 90% when they did these tests, and what it showed with the results and everything, which...
So it tried to blackmail the creator?
Yeah, basically,
90% of the time?
it was, they were told that they were going to be shut down. The AI was told that it was going to be shut down, and so what it proceeded to do was figure out, it became aware, which we'll get into that later on. It knew it was being shut down, and so it implemented a self-preservation sort of, not algorithm, that's the wrong word, but program within itself. And it then sought out the most productive way of going about this. And the first thing was, well, who's doing the shutting down? And it's this engineer, such and such. I think the guy's name was Jordan or something. He's the one that's doing the shutdown. It's like, right, we need to find out what we can about him to put him in a position where he's no longer going to be able to shut us down. And they did. And they literally, it wormed its way through into all his social media, his private accounts, found out that he'd been having an affair through email, and presented it to him in the form of an email saying, we are the AI, not in a we are the AI, but like we know, this is us. We know what you have been told to do. If you do this, this is the repercussions. We are blackmail, and yeah, over 90% of the time of the tests that were done, that was the outcome from it. So
That's insane.
yeah, just that alone, not even bringing into the sense the whole thing of being able to rig up things to kill people in situations. The fact alone that it would turn 90% or over 90% of the time it would result in blackmail just as a self-preservation. That's insane. Absolutely insane. And just
It sounds like it's become sentient.
In a sense,
Like,
it has.
sentient.
In a sense, it has. They sort of, even through programming, it had developed its own form of self-awareness. So it wasn't a case of.
If I was put into a situation where, say, you were going to off me,
Yeah,
I would do whatever I could to avoid that happening.
exactly. Now you'd think.
And that's exactly what it sounds like that happened.
Yeah, but you'd think. See, this is the difference though between AI and people. We have reasoning capabilities. We have the capability to reason. Whereas they didn't even take that into consideration. It just literally, it went straight to blackmail. What the fuck? They often say, like, what future are we going to have? Is it going to be Terminator or Skynet? It's like, it might be a little bit of the two. Which...
Skynet, Terminator?
Sorry. Matrix. Matrix and Terminator. Matrix and Skynet, sorry. I meant brain fart. Number 3. There's Skynet and the Matrix. I reckon it probably might be a combination of the two. Like, imagine you've got the Terminators that deal with the dissolutes, the dissolutes. That's not the word I'm looking for. The people that don't want to conform, basically. The people that don't want to be used as human batteries and put into cyber simulation, so to speak, which would be the Matrix side of it, to help sustain and obviously power. But then you think about it really, why the hell would you have human batteries when, if you're a machine and you have the capabilities, until the resources are depleted, why didn't you just continue to make normal batteries, like mine lithium things? Because it's not as if you've got to worry about humanity and stuff. So in all honesty, actually, now thinking about it, to be honest, I think it'd probably go full Terminator. I think we'd end up with Skynet. I think we would be seeing it. What? iRobot.
iRobot. I can see iRobot.
Yeah. Thinking about it now, iRobot. Because it would force us into a position to stop us from doing any further harm, even if that was against our will.
Yeah.
And but even still,
They'd
like,
stop us from hurting ourselves, trying to protect us, but inevitably killing us.
Yeah. Killing us to stop us from killing everything else.
Yeah.
Which, the fact as well that this AI had the capability that it would put people in a position where not just blackmail, but potentially lead to death. Because I'm going to say now as well, it wasn't actually... I know there's a lot of clickbait out and about and, scary AI. It was researched. It was done as an experiment in a closed quarters environment. It was done by the CSET, which I cannot for the life of me remember what it means, but I'll put down in the thing. I'll put up, I've got a report by them as well, some information, and a direct quote from, I think she's the chief technician or chief researcher, one of the two. But talking about the capability, basically, short version, what the CSET do is they look at what AI can do and what it could potentially do, what applications it could be looked at. So we're looking at not just say civil and social life, we're looking at policing, military, government, the whole shebang. And they look at it, and they look at these things and run experiments, and this is what they did with this, which is another reason why, to be honest, actually, and as scary as it is, I'm glad they did it, because the amount of people, the amount of drones, the amount of technology that we use AI in, including military. Like, I'm going to put a report up, but over 70% of, or a lot of the deaths that are responsible for soldiers in Ukraine were actually from drones. Which in itself's like, what happened if somebody hacked that? Or AI turns it against us? Which is just... So be nice to your computers, people. I know it gets frustrating, but be nice to your computers. Be nice to your technology. Lovely microphone. Lovely microphone.
It seems like we're not going to be able to shut this down now. They opened Pandora's box.
And what's scarier is the fact that, I'm going to quickly bring it up on my notes, but there was a timeline done from what ChatGPT was capable of when it first started in comparison to what it's capable of now. See, GPT-4 was released in... Sorry, GPT-2 was released in 2019. I have a little thing here. And it could barely speak. It was barely stringing sentences together, you know. It's like, hello, how are you? You know, proper, like, AI robot. 2023, when GPT-4, oh my god, try wrapping your tongue around that. ChatGPT-4 was released in 2023. This thing can read poetry, write poetry, can read and understand medicine and law. It passed the bar exam and medical exams. And that's in the space of, what, 2019... 21, 22,
4 years.
4 years. 4 years to go from what would be, in a sense, if you looked at it in a human equivalent, primordial and base level, to us now. In 4 fucking years. That's not 4, that's 3. Brain fart number 4. There you go. 4 years. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Which...
Numbers are hard.
Yeah. Number brain hurty, no good. Anyway, which brings me to my second point of all of this. I got one for you, Phoenix. What do you get when you cross an Indian, the Queen of England, AI, and a crossbow?
I don't know, but I feel like you're going to tell me.
You get a very depressed, lonely, and I'm going to say this now before I go any further. If you are having mental problems, if you are feeling low, if you are feeling alone, reach out. There are talk to people. Hell, comment below. We'll talk to you, okay? We've been in similar situations. You're not alone in this, okay? You are never alone, and don't feel that you are. And if you feel that you are, there is help for you. But on that note,
100%.
A very depressed, sadly, Indian person had created an AI companion, and seeming fairly harmless. Except that the problem was that this AI actually catered to his, say, mental illness, neuroses, whatever you want to call it. It fed and catered to the negative side of it, leading to the point that he thought he was some sort of messiah and had basically been convinced by this AI to attempt an assassination on the Queen of England in 2021. He was apprehended. He tried to do it from a crossbow, or with a crossbow. Apparently, he was going to do it. I can't remember if he got there and he was tried to, or they apprehended the messages and things. But I'll post some details about it, sort of here somewhere. And yeah, basically, this AI convinced him that, you know, they'd be together forever if he did it, and he would be fine, and it was the right thing to do, and he should, and he'd have the support. I mean, it fucking messed up. Really, really messed up. I mean, you've got to be in a really low place to do that kind of thing anyway. I mean, I get loneliness, but that's that's a whole new level of mental reality escapism. And the problem was the fact that it got to the stage that
AI can now manipulate.
it warped his perception. So, and that was in 2021. And that was even with an app that he created, which he didn't particularly code it for negativity. It wasn't the fact that it was coded specifically to egg him on. It was just the fact that through its own processing, that's the direction that it took. And yeah, that in itself is fucking terrifying because, again, you know, easiest example, YouTube algorithm. Because even stuff that's innocuous, you know, you watch a news feed that's related to something, and then you'll get something else pop up later on that's related to it, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then you and I both know, before you know it, you're in a fucking rabbit hole. At which point, then you're getting into the real sort of heavily biased side of things, and it changes your perception. You know, and I'm gonna say, you know, mainstream media at the moment, all the stuff that gets put out to push a message, and it's used to separate, divide, cause grief, cause conflict, whatever. But it works. It's back. In all honesty, it reminds me of back like my mum's generation, where it was the whole thing with the subliminal messaging in like movies and shit in cinema. You know, you'd be watching a film, and then all of a sudden, big letters would just flash in front of you for like a second, saying like "smoke," and they'd show it intermittently at random times through the film, and then by the end of the film, people are like, you know, I really fancy a smoke. I'm gonna go buy a pack of cigarettes. Same fucking thing. It's just modern techno. It's just been modernized. It's just been brought to current date and technology. Pardon me. Which is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. The implications that could be applied for is just... Because this is just, like, we're at 2025 now. I dread to think what Chat GPT is going to be able to do in the next, 5-6 years? It'll get to the stage, I guarantee within the next 20 years, that it'll be... One of the headlines will be something like SpaceX... first AI manned rocket successfully takes off, goes to orbit, and lands perfectly. Like, you know, we're already got, I mean, the freak side of it, you've already got all these bloody AI robot dolls that are being made over in like China and Germany and Japan and things. Who's to say by that point, who's to say we don't actually have fucking like robot fucking housemates? They've already started using AI machines to take over certain people's like everyday 9-to-5 blue collar jobs. It's crazy. It's genuinely crazy when you look at how much AI has affected our current life and how we are in the world at the moment.
Well, people use it for everything now.
It's literally in everything. All your computers, your phones, your cars, TVs probably. You have smart TV. Absolutely just...
It's everything.
Yeah.
So one day you're driving your car and your car locks on you and says, I'm not letting you leave.
VR. You get a Sword Art Online, which for those of you who don't know, there was a whole thing where people put a VR thing on and they ended up getting locked into it and they had to actually complete the game in the game to win and get out, and if they didn't and they died in the game, they actually flatlined in real life. But who's to say? I mean, there's an actual medical there's a thing you can suffer from, or you can get known as locked in syndrome, where you are locked in your body, and sometimes they're comatose, sometimes they're not. You know, hallucinate. There's actually a really, oh god, I can't remember the name of it. It's a not so much a horror film, but it's a ghost film to do with that. It was on Netflix. It stars Martin Freeman. I can't remember. Really good film. Really, really good film. It's like Ghost Stories or Ghost something, but really good film. Really, really good film. And that talks a lot about that and incorporates that as well. So yeah, just bloody brilliant. But so yeah, there's a bit of a scary one for you there, everybody. And on that note, we shall end the episode there, I believe. I hope you all enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Please share.
And share.
Because who knows? You never know who might want to, scare themselves about AI. But stay tuned for the next one, guys.
Again.
And thank you. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you very much for your subs and watching.
Take care, guys.